Welcome back to the Softest Fantasy Football Show. It is just me, Calvin, today. Corbin is extremely busy. And all I'm doing today is waiver wires, which are pretty boring this week. I listened to several podcasts and they all were saying how bad these waivers are this week. And there's really not a whole lot. So I'll just go through each position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. And yeah, I'm not even going to do defenses. But yeah, and then just obviously, if when you're looking for waivers, you want to look at what your team needs, and if you don't need a quarterback, then you don't need to pick up a waiver wire quarterback, or vice versa with the other positions. So first, we're gonna go with quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud is looking like he's going to be a very good quarterback this year, and is available in I don't know what his availability is, but I'm guessing he's pretty available as a quarterback to pick up. I think I heard people say like 50% in some things. I don't know what he is in sleeper. I'll try pulling it up. But CJ Stroud playing Atlanta this week, so it'll probably be a good game to have him as a quarterback if your quarterbacks have been bad. Like if you unfortunately picked Joe Burrow or something like that, you could pick up CJ Stroud, and he's just been pretty consistent, so it wouldn't be a bad pickup to get CJ Stroud on your team. He is available in he is in 54% of rosters right now, so half of the leagues, and it went up 23% this past week. So you either picked him up or he's available in that many of your leagues. Next is Matthew Stafford, having a good year. His touchdowns have been bad. Like he has 3 touchdowns on the year, so there could be regression to getting more touchdowns. So that'll be a nice upside. He's playing the Eagles, which they have not been as good as people have thought they would be on defense. So picking up Matthew Stafford might be a good idea for this week as another quarterback to throw in your lineup if you need a quarterback. And he is available in 46% of leagues, so he is somebody you can pick up in most leagues as a option for quarterback. And then I'll just do 3. Third one is Joshua Dobbs, the quarterback for the Cardinals, if you didn't know who that was. He's been doing phenomenal for being on the Cardinals and getting onto the team August 26th of the year. And so, besides the first week where he had 1 point in fantasy football, I guess, which he was only on the team for a week at that point, he's been scoring 25 points, 17 points, 23 points. They play the Bengals next week and then the Rams. He might be a quarterback you could just keep on your team. Same with CJ Stroud. Like, they both have just been pretty consistently good. Like CJ Stroud would be but if you have tanked in quarterback, you could probably play CJ Stroud for the rest of the year. He's looking like he's going to be an incredible quarterback. We'll move on to running backs. Running backs are bad, but I hope you don't need a running back because they're just so bad this year. I mean, everybody needs running backs because it's just been so bad. Jaleel McLaughlin, however you say it, is number 1 waiver wire pickup for me, I think, from the running back position this week, just because he might have a lot of or not this week. He's more of a stash because Javonte Williams might be in and might not. I don't know. I mean, no one really knows at this point, but he's did way better than Samaje Perine last week, and he could just jump into... Oh, gosh, I just need my desk. He could just jump into the backup role for Javonte if he gets hurt, or he could just split the work with him. He looked pretty good in the last game against the Bears. So, Jaleel McLaughlin. Justice Hill, if he's available in your leagues, he could be back and splitting work. Samaje Perine splitting work with Jaleel McLaughlin. I mean, I would go with Jaleel just because there's upside that he could just surpass Samaje Perine. Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Warren, Rashawn Johnson. Those are all names to look out for if they're in your leagues. Jalen Warren looks like he's the better running back in Pittsburgh, and I think it's just a matter of time before he becomes the one instead of Najee Harris. And Chuba Hubbard is Miles Sanders, I think, might have got hurt this week. So Hubbard rushed 14 times last week, so he could get more rushing and just someone else if you need to pick up a running back. Again, all these aren't really that good of waiver wires. They're just there. All right, wide receivers. Wide receivers, there is a decent amount. I don't know how rostered a lot of these people are because they've just been people that, how many Jay Williams are there? I just clicked on Javonte, Jamal, and now Jameson. Jameson Williams is the number one wide receiver. I wouldn't put him as number one. I think Michael Wilson would be number one for me to pick up. He's been looking good. The Cardinals have been looking good. And they don't have a ton of options like the Lions do. I think he'd be a better pickup for me. And they're playing the Bengals this week too, so it'll be a better... I don't know. I'd go Michael Wilson over Jameson Williams as a waiver wire priority. That's just me. But Jameson Williams has been suspended. Supposed to be a really good wide receiver for the Lions. Who knows if he will be or not. But he's going to be playing this week, week 5. And you haven't seen a whole lot of him, so I'm not sure what to expect from him. But everybody says that he's supposed to be good. And he's available in half the leagues right now. So might be rostered already in your league that you're playing in. Then you go to Michael Wilson, who I think is not rostered at all. 6% rostered in leagues. Scored 26 points against the 49ers. Had 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 76 receiving yards. It's obviously an insane blowout game, but they play in the Bengals, and the Cardinals actually look like they're going to be a decent team this year. And Kyler Murray will probably come back at some point this year, so he might get even better with a better quarterback. Or Joshua Dobbs will just be the quarterback, and he's doing fine. So he's somebody that I'm going to try getting in a lot of leagues because I think he will be a second half of the year good wide receiver to have. Joshua Palmer on the Chargers, if he's available. Quentin Johnston. They're both on bye, so they might not be the best to pick up this week. But you might want to look at if people drop them, if they had them, to pick them up off of people dropping them to stash them because they probably will need those wide receivers because the Chargers need wide receivers since Mike Williams is out, and there's not really a clear 2 yet on their team. So it could be Quentin Johnston, Joshua Palmer. Jaden Reed's another rookie wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers that's looking really good, getting more reps. He might be somebody to get if they have Christian Watson still not playing, or if he is back. I don't know. Jaden Reed just looks like he could be a good wide receiver and could just become the 2 on their team. Tyler Boyd, I wouldn't pick up Tyler Boyd, but he's on the list of waiver wire pickups just because T. Higgins is out, and when T. Higgins is out or Jamar Chase is out, usually Tyler Boyd picks up the slack between those 2 players. So he wouldn't be a bad pickup either. And then someone else that I want to try to get, the 2 that I'm really trying to get are Marvin Mims and Michael Wilson because they're both rookie wide receivers, and they look good, and they look like they could be big parts of their teams respectively. So those are the 2 players that I would try to target the most in my opinion of wide receivers. Michael Gallup also looked good last week. He's looking healthy and catching passes, so he wouldn't be a bad target either. And that is, there's a decent amount of wide receivers, but the wide receivers everywhere have been very good. So these wide receivers are I don't even know. Maybe flex plays if you have. Yeah, I feel like everybody should have a decent wide receiver or two on their team because there's just so many good ones this year. And then you go to tight ends. Jake Ferguson, number one tight end pickup. I think he's the clear number one out of the pickups. Maybe Zach Ertz if you want to get crazy. But Jake Ferguson's been targeted a lot, and he's somebody that you could pick up. I'll look up how rostered he is. He might be pretty rostered. He's been having a few good weeks. Jake Ferguson, 50% rostered, so still not completely rostered. Cole Kmet's on there. I don't know if that's a good pickup. The Bears just had I don't know if they're gonna be like that good again, or Cole Kmet's gonna be even close to that. But he's a tight end if you need one. I mean, everybody needs a good tight end because they all just are bad. But Zach Ertz gets a ton of targets. I'm not even gonna mention. Well, I'll mention them. Logan Thomas, Tyler Higbee. They're they're tight ends you can pick up too. Yeah, that's it on tight ends. Defenses: Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Saints, Packers, Texans, Cardinals. They're all playing teams that they could just get pick sixes on. So, they'd be all good. There's a lot of good defenses you could pick up. Ravens play the Steelers. Kenny Pickett might be out, or he might be in. Doesn't matter. He's not. They're still going to do well against the Steelers. Baltimore Ravens defense is good. The Lions play the Panthers, and CJ Stroud has not been looking good, so he's a good pickup. Commanders play the Bears. Justin Fields did have a good game, but he could just revert back to being bad. And then Saints play the Patriots. Mac Jones is rough. It was rough to watch him last week. The Packers play the Raiders. I don't know why they're on there. Maybe it's not Derek Carr. Jimmy G might be out again, I guess, maybe. Or they're just, Jimmy G's, I don't know. Green Bay Packers are there. They might be a good pickup. I guess they're just good at defense. And then Texans play the Falcons, so that should be a good pickup. And then the Cardinals play the Bengals, and the Bengals are a surprisingly horrendous team this year, which is crazy. Sorry for anybody who picked Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow. I feel like I talked like a million miles an hour. But that is all of the waiver wires. Again, I'll just reiterate the ones that I really want to get that I think will be good are Michael Wilson. Where is he? Where'd he go? Michael Wilson, Marvin Mims, if he's not drafted. And then maybe Jameson Williams. I don't know. He could be good too. He's supposed to be good. Haven't seen him play. But Michael Wilson and Marvin Mims have been doing incredible. They just need to get targeted more. And yeah, that is it. We'll be back Thursday with another episode. We'll probably do a draft. And we might have a special guest Thursday. So look forward to Thursday where we will do a Week 5 draft and DraftKings do like a bit. Oh man, what's that called? Where you draft a team with the money. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, that is it. Hope you get your waiver wire pickups and have a good weekend.